Hello, my name is James Licato and I'm from Arlington, Virginia, and my research focused on designing a new composite material to remove two classes of toxic micropollutants in water treatment. Now, the two classes of micropollutants that I was looking at removing include pharmaceuticals and personal care products, or PPCPs, and perfluorinated alkyl substances, or PFAS. Now, PPCPs are just the medications that many of us take on a daily basis that end up in wastewater treatment facilities through low metabolism and subsequent excretion. Perfluorinated alkyl substances, or PFAS, otherwise known as forever chemicals, are a vast class of over 5,000 different chemicals that are characterized by carbon-fluorine bonds, which makes them extremely resistant to biodegradation and persistent in the environment. PFAS are found in many consumer products, including many coatings that are heat, stain, and water resistant. So this means coatings like on non-stick pans, paper plates, that inside of popcorn bags. All of these products contain PFAS. Now, the reason why PPCPs and PFAS pose such a problem is because PPCPs, when they reach the environment, can cause intersex, embryo mortality, stunted growth, and population decline. PFAS, when they reach the environment, are carcinogenic and immunosuppressive at extremely low concentrations for both aquatic organisms and humans. And what current wastewater treatment facility technology does not adequately remove these two classes of pollutants, which is why I wanted to design a new composite material that would do just that. I did this by using zeolites, which are crystalline aluminosilicates with a system of pores and channels that can selectively trap contaminants, sort of like a molecular net. Now, zeolites also have net negative surface charge, which facilitates absorption, and there are hundreds of different variants, of which I used 6. Now, most zeolites come in powdered form, which is not practical for use in wastewater treatment. So what I did is I designed a composite material using a binder called sodium silicate to create a hard, sand-like material that can now be directly added in situ to existing wastewater treatment plant infrastructure. To test my composite material, I did 3 things. The first thing that I did was I tested it under controlled conditions using a lab mixture of 18 PPCPs and 3 PFAS, and this was done to simulate wastewater treatment facility conditions. The second thing that I did is I tested it under real-world conditions using real wastewater treatment facility effluent from 3 locations in the Mid-Atlantic region, including the most advanced wastewater treatment facility in the United States. So this has the best technology possible to potentially remove these contaminants. And I tested it using a schedule of over 100 different PPCPs and PFAS. And I used that water to test a combined composite material of all 6 of my variants. The third thing that I did is I used adsorption modeling. I used the Langmuir isotherm to mathematically model adsorption to determine 2 things: adsorption capacity and adsorption favorability, which are general descriptors of adsorption that can be used to characterize the effectiveness of the materials that I created. So after experimentation, I found that my zeolite composite material was effective at removing both PPCPs and PFAS simultaneously under controlled conditions. However, I didn't find any correlations or any predictive mechanisms as to why certain zeolites performed better than others. However, there was no statistically significant difference between adsorption capacities or adsorption favorabilities within the 6 different zeolite variants that I used. Under real-world conditions, I found between 44 and 58 PPCPs at every location, some of these PPCPs actually were at concentrations that posed a risk to aquatic life. I found 12 PFAS at every location, including that most advanced wastewater treatment facility, and there was no significant difference between concentrations, which means that there really is a need for new wastewater treatment facility technology. However, my composite material adequately removed both PPCPs and PFAS in wastewater, in this final wastewater treatment plant effluent, to below safe concentrations. So there are 4 things that I concluded from my experimentation. The first thing that I concluded is that there was a need for new wastewater treatment plant technology, as I found vast amounts of PPCPs and PFAS at every location. The second thing that I concluded is that the zeolite composite that I designed effectively removed both PPCPs and PFAS under controlled and real-world conditions. The third thing that I concluded is that there was no real mechanism for adsorption that I could find to predict adsorption in controlled or real-world conditions. The last thing that I concluded is that due to the nature of my composite material, that sand-like material, it is extremely applicable to existing wastewater treatment plant infrastructure and can be easily applied on top of existing infrastructure in situ. So to sum it all up, I designed a new composite material using zeolites that can effectively remove both PPCPs and PFAS under both controlled and real-world conditions. And I demonstrated that it is easily applicable in existing wastewater treatment plant infrastructure. Thank you.